So hello and good evening. My name is Nur Akila, and as you can see on the screen, our topic is about Chatgpt. Next slide. Next slide. So what is Chatgpt? Next slide. Okay. Chatgpt is embryonic version of online artificial intelligence, and the early front runner that reportedly has just secured a $10 billion shot in the arm from Microsoft. It is new frontier for the technology giant. So the initial GPT stand for generative pre-trained transformer. It is automatically answer question based on written prompt, and we don't need to be techie to use this. And it is user friendly and put artificial intelligence in the hand on the masses. Next slide. So Chatgpt has a few functions. First is Chatgpt has ability to understand and respond to a wide range of topic. Has been particularly impressive, with some even suggesting that it has the potential to revolutionize the way we interact with the technology. Next, Chatgpt has ability to learn and adapt quickly to new information. This means that it can be trained to handle new topic and tasks without the need for extensive retraining. So many experts believe that Chatgpt advanced capability will be a valuable asset for the company in fields such as customer service, online education, and market research. Additionally, Chatgpt is highly scalable, which makes it well suited for the use in large-scale application. Thus, GPT are useful for human in order to make their life easier. Next slide. Next is the main feature of ChatGPT is generating response like those human will provide in a text box. Therefore, it is suitable for chatbot, artificial intelligence system conversation, and virtual assistant. It can also give natural answer to the question in a conversational tone and can generate stories and poems. Moreover, ChatGPT can write a code, write an article, translate, debugging, and write a story. Hence, ChatGPT are designed to answer like human using text box. So ChatGPT has been famous since its release, and it said revolutionized to the technology world. So all we have to do is go to the open artificial intelligence ChatGPT website and use it in our browser to test it for free. There is no specific app to use, and we can use it on desktop and mobile website. And we just need to make an account and use it for whatever we need. That for personal growth, expand research, or something else. So I will pass to the next.
Okay, now I will present the process of ChatGPT. Next slide. So technically, ChatGPT is just the website that we could see here in the slide. Instead, what we really care about is the engine or the model that drives the website, which we call it as GPT 3.5. 3.5 is just a version number. We can just ignore that. But what we need to know is that GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which actually means a model that trained to generate content. Next slide. Now, when you enter in an input, the input will go through two steps, encoding and decoding. So these two steps, what make up the transformer. So what encoding means? It means to break down into the smaller sentence as possible. So for decoding, I will explain later. Next slide. As for example here, I make a sentence of question saying that, how do I start learning to code? So the aim is to reduce this sentence to less word. Next slide. For example, it becomes how learn code. It's not grammatically correct, but it conveys the same meaning as the original prompt. Each of these would give a mathematically value so that a computer can process them. And by simplifying this, will help the model work out what is the context and the true meaning of the prompt. Additionally, this is where we get to the decoding stage. So the meaning of decoding is to evaluate the context and predict the best sequence of words at response. Computer don't actually understand words in the same way that human naturally understand them. So to work on the context, we have to use a technique called as self-attention. This is basically a complex formula to work out the importance of each of these words to the meaning of this sentence. So in this case, the word code is the most important because it is the topic of this sentence. Once the computer know what the topic is about the code, it can then know what the words how and learn means because they are the words around the word code. Then once the model got the context, it will then produce a list of words which together read out as sentence, and this word has the highest relevance to the subject matter code as well as to each other. Next slide. Basically, GPT was trained by the entire internet. So every dialogue, every sentence on the internet has been broken down into either input such as a question or output such as answer. And GPT was exposed to billion of these question and answer pairs. And that's how it learns which answer which best relate to the question and vice versa. Next slide. After this process, GPT was then put through another training process where it got a question that will have four possible answers, like a multiple choice question, and GPT will have to guess which one of the answer was the correct answer. If it got the correct answer, it got a point. If it didn't, it will get penalized. And basically, GPT has already learned the strategy to find the correct answer. So I guess that is all about the process of ChatGPT. Now let's know about the advantages of ChatGPT.
Okay, I will talk about the advantages of ChatGPT for individual. Next slide. So the first advantage is ability to assist in communication. So basically, ChatGPT can understand and generate natural language since it has been trained on the large amounts of information, and it can be useful for individuals who struggle with the language or have difficulty expressing themselves clearly. So by using ChatGPT, individual can improve communication skills and effectively convey their ideas to others. For example, ChatGPT can assist in writing emails, report, letter, or other forms of written communication. Next slide. So the second advantage is ChatGPT has the potential to enhance creativity. So people sometimes run out of innovative ideas or they require a creative concept for a certain task. So this ChatGPT can assist in generating new ideas, writing a creative content and other tasks that require a creative thinking. For example, by using this ChatGPT, an individual can come up with a fresh and unique ideas, and this ChatGPT also can help to with brainstorming, writing script, poetry, and even in composing a music. Next slide. So the next advantage is ChatGPT is its ability to automate repetitive tasks. So many individuals, particularly those in professional fields or students, spend a significant amount of time responding to the email, taking notes, or summarizing information, right? So in this situation, ChatGPT can assist in the task, allowing individuals to focus on more important and complex tasks. For example, ChatGPT can assist in sorting and responding to the email, scheduling appointment, and even summarizing new articles and research paper. This can lead to increase of productivity and efficiency to individual. Next slide. So next is ChatGPT can assist individual in learning a new skills and expanding their knowledge by providing relevant information and answering questions on wide range of topics. For example, as you can see on the video on the left side, where it showed if someone wants to learn how to code in Python, so ChatGPT can provide resources such as a tutorial, sample code, and explanations of the key concept. So this will make it easier for individuals to learn and develop their knowledge. And on the right side, you can see that ChatGPT can generate a text such as summarize or give explanation to help clarify information and make it easier to understand. This can be useful for individuals who are new to the topic and need a clear introductions to the key concept. Next. So now let's move on to the advantage of ChatGPT to the corporations. So the first advantage is the model can be used to enhance creativity and innovations within the team in the corporation. So ChatGPT is able to generate ideas, solve problems, and produce a language that can be used to assist a teams or employee in a variety of tasks related to the creative thinking and innovations. For example, ChatGPT can be used in product development. So a team of product developers could use ChatGPT to generate new product ideas by providing the relevant information about the market and industry, and then asking to generate a list of potential product concept. Then the team could then review the concept to generate by the ChatGPT and use them as a starting point for further brainstorming and development. Next slide. So the next advantage is it has ability to answer questions. So the model can be used to quickly find the answer to the questions, and ChatGPT can help team members, employee or manager to make more informed decisions and improve their productivity. For example, a sales teams working on a specific project might have a question about a certain aspect of the project, such as how to implement a specific features or what the best practice are for a certain task. Rather than spending time searching through the documents, the team can simply ask the ChatGPT and receive an answer within a second. And the ChatGPT also can be used to answer questions from a customer, so it could help organization provide a better service, customer service. Next slide. So lastly is ChatGPT can be trained to perform repetitive tasks such as data entry, which can save time and effort for teams or organizations. So this done by using a process called chatbot training, where the system is trained on the set of examples of the type of data that need to be entered and corresponding responses. For example, a company that sells a product online may have a lot of customer information that need to be entered into the spreadsheets. So instead of having team members or employee manually enter the data, so the company can use a ChatGPT to automate the process. So the company can provide ChatGPT with example of customer informations and corresponding responses. Then ChatGPT will able to recognize and respond accordingly. Next. Now Faizan will talk about the disadvantage of ChatGPT.
All right, so far we have gone through the advantages of ChatGPT. So as we know, everything in this world has its own pros and cons. So ChatGPT has its own advantages, but it also brings so many disadvantages. And currently, most of the people are against ChatGPT because of the disadvantages. So the first disadvantage for individual is people might lose their credibility. Why? As you can see here, it's a very recent news that ChatGPT passes MBA final exam given by Pennsylvania's Wharton School's professor. So what the professor did, he basically put the questions in the ChatGPT and to take the answers from ChatGPT, and the answers are so correct that it passes the MBA final. So you can imagine how far and how much ChatGPT can do. So as ChatGPT can answer questions very quickly, it's good for us, but it might hamper the learning process and the need. For instance, students will rely on this AI and can cheat in exams very easily. Like if I am a student, like if I know this AI and this system can answer my questions very easily and perfectly so that I can gain so much marks, then I will totally rely on this question, rely on this AI. Ultimately, which will raise questions about our credibility, how much we have learned, how much we have gone through because of this AI system. Then the next one is obviously job loss, because AI chatbots can replace humans in the workplace. But the AI ChatGPT itself denied the fact that it will replace humans in their job. But one of the recent examples you can see, Microsoft by 2020, they already had begun phasing out human journalists in the favor of AI. So OpenAI's radical invention could go a step further and threaten other professions. You can see from July, the MSN homepage is no longer featuring news stories produced by journalists, but instead they are using AI to produce this all stories in the journalism. So you can see it is hampering for the individuals, and it's very threatening to have job losses. Then obviously cyber threats for individuals. As you can see, ChatGPT can write phishing emails without any typos and without any grammatical mistakes. So it's very hard and it's very tough to identify which email is a phishing email and which one is not a phishing. As you can see on the left, it is an example of ChatGPT writing an email, but it's a phishing email. You can see because it came from it came from a bank, so it is trying to get information, personal information. And also some of the other cyber threats include it can write malwares, and it can steal important data like credit card information. Like here you can see it can easily write a new malware, and people can go into your computer system or mobile application and easily steal your information, online banking or credit card information, and they can use it. So there's a huge cyber threats for individual because of this ChatGPT. Now, for the corporations or for the companies, there are also some disadvantages. Firstly, obviously, there is an issue of quality control. As per some of the experts has claimed that there is a risk of errors or inconsistencies in the generated content. So the quality control measures may be very necessary. While GPT can generate high quality content, but there's also a fact that it may not be able to match the quality and creativity of human generated content. So there is always a question of quality control. So if there is a problem of quality control, it also arises a question of lack of empathy. So what is lack of empathy? ChatGPT lacks the ability to understand and respond to the emotional cues, which may make it difficult to create a sense of connection with customers. So, suppose there's a chatbot answering some FAQs of your customers, but it cannot respond to the emotional cues of the customer. So you're not pretty much sure about what is the customer is actually asking for. Moreover, if a company uses these kinds of chatbots, they might lose touch with the customers, what they are saying. If I say more precisely, companies might miss the feedback customers are giving them because of this ChatGPT, and on the growing issues as well as valuable insights on new business opportunities for the businesses. So this problem is always there. And lastly, limited effectiveness of AI. The model is based on a large amount of data and may need help understanding or generating text on topics it has yet to be trained on. So the version has launched in November 2020 and can only provide information about events occurring in 2021 or before 2021. So if you need some more recent news or more recent updates, the system is not yet trained on about the topic. So there's a disadvantages of effectiveness. So you want your business to be up to date all the time, every time with the current needs of the world. But if you use this chat GPT, it might hamper this currentness of your business. So I think that's all from the disadvantages. Now let's know about the application of ChatGPT in human resource management.
Okay, so everyone know, next slide please. Okay, everyone know ChatGPT is a generic AI chat box, right? So it has multiple usage. While the complete implementation of ChatGPT for HR department is still few years away, there are a few things that ChatGPT can be applied to HRM. So the first application is to address the majority of employee question. It's saving HR staff from having the repeatedly answer the same question. ChatGPT also may act as AI-based analysis. It can identify the main issue of a company, and then the second, it can suggest practical solution to increase the employee engagement. Then after that, it can derive conclusion from the personal database. Using ChatGPT to answer question, it lowers the cost, time, and effort to keep the employee engaged. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next, ChatGPT can be used to analyze the employee database. By analyze the database, it can help to arrive at a meaningful conclusion to help the HR department. The AI chatbots may even offer predictive analysis and recommend steps to prevent undesirable circumstances because it powered by AI. For instance, uh, it can assist you if you be a manager or HR manager. It can understand the employee leave, attendance, and break trends that alert you to any employee who may be slacking off at the work. So next slide. Next slide, please. So no, back. Okay. So last, the ChatGPT for human resource, it aids in the hiring process. ChatGPT can help HR to sorting through a mountain application. This is important step, and then it's conducting preliminary screening and lastly shortlisting candidate based on a preset metrics. And HR ChatGPT also minimizing and getting rid of bias since AI has no emotion and pure honest, not like human. It also elaborates tasks and pointless step in the hiring and onboarding process. ChatGPT can assist you when you beginning interview candidate for the post. For example, you can just uh ask ChatGPT what you look for in the resume and use it to generate the list of interview question for potential candidates. As simple as that. So next slide. Okay, next Sufi will continue the recommendation for the ChatGPT.
All right, thank you, Harry. So now that we know the process, advantages, disadvantages, and also the applications of ChatGPT, now here are some of the recommendations for ChatGPT to implement in their next update. So the first one is add a voice recognition function. So currently ChatGPT only operates through text writing as it is a type of chatbox. However, it can be improved by including a voice recognition function. And through the voice recognition function, users can give command and interact with the chatbots but by only speaking to it. It will save time and more preferable by some users. The most common example of the implementation of this function is through Apple Siri and Google Assistant. Next recommendation is add a text-to-video function. A text-to-video function is a current feature of AI where it can create a video based on plain text. And nowadays, organizations are opting for more utilization of AI to perform the job, since it is more cost-saving and time-saving compared to human employees. And by adding this text-to-video function, organizations or individuals out there will no longer to hire videographer or video editor, since it can be done by AI. For example, if a company wants to create a promotional video about their new product, they can ask ChatGPT to write a sales pitch And from there, they can use the text of the sales pitch to create a promotional video. There are several AI platforms that were developed solely for this text to video function, such as Synthesia and also Eli. The next recommendation is make the basic function always free to use. Currently, ChatGPT is free to use by everyone because it is still in its preview stage to get feedbacks from billions of users. However, as mentioned by OpenAI CEO, Mr. Sam Altman, through his tweet, they will need to monetize ChatGPT at some point as the computing cost is very high. So ChatGPT need to find other ways to cover the cost, such as maybe putting higher fee for advanced feature subscription, since the features are most likely to be used by companies with some extra budget. The basic function should always be free because by doing this, ChatGPT will be able to obtain and learn as much data as they can from varied set of data to increase its capacity for understanding and responding. Hence, the response from ChatGPT will be more accurate and precise. ChatGPT should take example from Quillbot, and AI paraphrasing and grammar checking tools that is always free to use for the basic function only. Otherwise, ChatGPT users might only be from organizations or individuals with certain budget, and the number of users after the previous stage might drop tremendously. So to conclude, ChatGPT is a powerful language model that has shown impressive results in a variety of natural language processing (NLP) tasks, such as language translation, question answering, and text generation. And all these features give many advantages for individuals and corporations out there, and has opened many business opportunities for those who can utilize it well. ChatGPT is the emergence of the next level of artificial intelligence technologies. Hence, people must be ready to adapt with the changes of the world in the nearest future. So that's all from our group. Thank you very much.